Hello everyone, my name is Norma and I'm running for President-elect for the National Association of Hispanic Nurses. This is my third webcast out of a series of 4. Today I want to talk to you about leadership. We all have an idea of what leaders should be, but I want to talk about the 10 characteristics of successful leaders that Forbes has identified. And this I want to show you, sort of talk about how I will be your leader with NAHN. Honesty is the first characteristic of a good leader, and we all want our leaders to be honest, which is why it's at the top of the list. I strongly believe that a leader must be honest with ethical decision-making process. As well, I believe that decisions that we make as a board should be transparent, so you as a member of NAHN understand why decisions are made. I think it's important for all of our members to be honest with each other and with the membership of NAHN. In my own experience, it's often easy to be critical of decisions that are made at an executive level. It feeds our negativity. I see this every day, and I always tell people that we really don't know the behind the scenes of why people make decisions. I think that it's a trust issue, and it's important to be honest with members of the organizations when decisions are made, so you'll understand what's going on. Delegation is the next characteristic of a good leader. I believe an organization is successful when all members are empowered. This can be done through delegation. Delegation implies that you trust the people and you empower these members when you ask them to help you with running the organization. I think delegation is a sign of strength, that you have faith in those that you work with. I believe that our board includes some of the finest members of our organization, and I trust their expertise. As well as members of NAHN, I trust the leadership of each chapter and each president. With delegation comes the risk that things may not get done as you expected. But that's okay. You learn from each other and you can figure out what is needed to promote success in others. Sometimes as a leader, you have to just let go of some of the power that you have to give to the organization. Communication. Communication is by far one of the most important characteristics that you have as a leader. I strongly believe in emotional intelligence and would encourage our board and non-members to understand that communication stems from these basic concepts. As Latinos, we have a certain way of communicating, and it's important that we are aware of our own communications related to emotions when we communicate with others and how we handle our interpersonal relationships with fairness and empathy. I like the idea of the 1-minute elevator speech. If President Obama got on the elevator with you and you only had 1 minute to tell him about NAHN, what would you say? In the same pretense, if you got on the elevator with anybody that was very important, what would you say in 1 minute about yourself? These communication skills are very important to have. It's essential to develop a team so that we will always be working toward the same goal. And our team includes you as a member, so we all need to communicate. The next characteristic is confidence, and I'm very confident that this organization is in good standing. Our membership continues to increase and we have good financial standing. I'm confident in our leadership, our chapter presidents, and many of the leaders that we have in the organization. Whether things are going good or bad, if you are challenged by someone who is not happy with your decisions, you must always be confident in yourself. There may be days where we worry and we are concerned, but confidence is about believing in the organization. Change is inevitable in any organization, and we have to be confident with the change. As a leader of your own chapters, it's essential that you always stay positive and calm when change occurs. It's up to us as leaders to put out fires rather than ignite them. While people are often fearful of change, I see it as a challenge to make things better. You can be confident in decisions that are made when you have open communication and confidence in your own leaders. Staying calm is important when others tend to get panicky. And there are people who ignite fires and there are people who put them out. I would ask, which one are you? Despite changes, we must keep working and moving ahead. The next characteristic is commitment. I love this organization and am committed to its growth and success. I hope I can lead by example. I want to be active with you. I want to be committed to the work that NAHN has done all the way down to the grassroots level. I've been involved in my own community with our Latino population and have always been involved in NAHN's community service projects that we have done at our annual conferences. I'm also involved with our Latino students at the University of Alabama and have mentored many of them through their education. I like to lead by example. Sometimes it is such an honor to be able to do the hard work at the grassroots level and forget all the executive leadership roles. So having a positive attitude, this is the next characteristic of a good leader. I think if you know me, you'll also know that I have a very positive attitude. I have a strong sense of gratitude for everything that has happened in my life, and I mean everything, good or bad. I also believe that we all have a unique purpose in life. I love the book, Get on the Bus. If you haven't read it, it is very easy reading. It talks about whether you are on the bus to be positive and make changes in your life, or to get rid of the negativity and how it impacts your team positively. It's also so much easier to have a negative attitude than a positive one. Sometimes it takes effort to be nice to people, but you have to do this. I just posted a story on my Facebook about the two wolves within you. And I hope you'll go and read it. And I ask, which do you feed? To be positive, you have to feed your own soul. You have to know that you are valued. You have to know that you have a purpose in life. And you have to quit comparing yourself to others. When you truly believe that you are unique and special, and that everyone is unique and special, there's a degree of humility, respect, and peace that you achieve. Creativity is the next characteristic. So as a leader, I will be creative in my decision making and work to be fair and honest in these decisions. While some decisions are not always clear cut, I will always resort back to our strategic plan and policies to make decisions. There's always times when a leader has to make quick decisions and may have to deviate from a set course. During these critical times, I'll go back to the basics of the organization and what we stand for. Sometimes decisions have to be made that are outside of the box, and choices have to be made that may not be the best option. Time is of an essence during these critical situations, and I think making quick, brash decisions is not always the best thing to do. When faced with critical decisions, I think it's important for all of us to sit back and think about these things and make good, solid decisions. When someone asks you a shocking question that makes you feel uncomfortable, sometimes it's best to say, well, I have to think about that one for a little while. So you don't have to necessarily choose the first thing that comes to your mind to say anything. It's very important to have thoughtful and be thorough in your decision-making process. I will look to my board of directors on issues that may need some careful thought. Careful thought and guidance will help us reach the end conclusion that will be best for NAHN. One thing that keeps me grounded is reading my daily meditations and prayer. And when I get stressed or feel like I'm at my wit's end, nature is always my answer to try and calm me down. I have to get out and see the peace and tranquility just to sort of reset me. As well, I'm a runner and I teach spin class, and these things are great for my personal well-being. Taking care of our spirit, our mind, and our body are all essential in being good leaders. Intuition. This is the next thing that's a characteristic of a good leader. Intuition is something that you just know and you have an instinctive feeling rather than conscious reasoning. Intuition is based on your own personal experience, your background, your knowledge. It's that gut feeling that tells you when something feels right. My intuition tells me that NAHN is in a great place. Our organization is growing at 20% per year. Our members are being recognized at state and national levels. We are on board and are represented on national, regional, state, and local boards. We receive grants that promote the organization and of health care of the Latino population. We have conferences where we have booths and sponsors that are supportive of our organization and what we stand for. We have scholarships to provide support of our members to continue their education. And we have more members going back to school now than ever for advanced degrees. We are at a point in our organization where there is no direct roadmap. We're going through uncharted waters. How exciting. As leaders of the organization, we need to stay positive and be grateful that we're having these growing pains during a time when many organizations are not growing. I want to guide our organization through some of the greatest years it will see. I want us to look back on these years and see a new era of where our organization is going. We are doing it. And we're not the first organization to have growing pains, but we will be successful like many that have gone before us. Trust in the process, whatever our process for NAHN is, and it is good. Inspiration is the next characteristic. I believe that each of you are instrumental in this organization and are essential in making our organization work. You all work hard and are making so much effort to improve the health care of the Latinos in our country. You inspire me, and I want to inspire each of you to continue the work that you're doing. One thing that I'm inspired by is to make this organization the best it can be. As well, I want to inspire young members of the organization to be ready to lead the organization in the future and to inspire them to make this organization better than what it is today. I always tell my students that I don't want them to be as good as me, I want them to be better than me. This is the same thing. I want my students to outshine me. I want this organization as well to outshine. I want to prepare and inspire future leaders of NAHN to continue the growth and development of the organization. Can you imagine how NAHN will be in 10, 20, or 30 years when we have the continued growth of Latinos in our country? How will NAHN be prepared to impact healthcare and all these people? We have to be inspired and plan ahead for our organization. The last characteristic is approach. So approach is how we approach each other and recognize that every person has a unique characteristic that must be recognized. When you look at emotional intelligence, you know that you are not all the same. As well, we all have certain personalities that make us different types of leaders. We need different types of leadership styles, and those are described in a variety of books. We cannot expect everyone to be the same. With that said, it's important to understand the personalities of those people you work with and plan on how to work with different people. I've learned how to customize my approach to different people who need different ways of communicating. This is important for all of us to do so that we can get the best work out of your team and other partners along our journey. Thank you for listening to me on this webcast. I will see you for webcast number 4 in a couple of days. Bye-bye.